Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to review this Keurig 3-month Brewer Care Kit. Now they sell this at Walmart for $13.97. So let's open it up and see what comes in the kit. So you get a bottle of Descaling Solution, three rinse pods. So I'm sorry, you get 4 rinse pods, 2 water filters, and again the descaling solution. Now you can buy all of this stuff separately, and I was curious if this was cheaper, but it's not any cheaper. So when you buy the Keurig water filters, these are $3.87 a piece when you buy a 2 kit like they sell at Walmart, and that's pretty much what they come up to in this kit. Same with the rinse pods. The rinse pods are 80 cents a piece. When you can buy this box of 10. And then the Keurig solution is $6.74 when you buy it by itself. So it's nice. It's a nice kit put together, but you're not saving any money. It's exactly the same cost as if you were to buy this stuff separately. So let's open up one of these water filters. This is for your water tank. So if you've got a holder like this that sits in your water tank, you're going to open it up and they go in there like that. So your Keurig may or may not have these water filters. So here I've got a Keurig machine, and see, that's where the water filter is. So you may or may not have one of these. So this kit probably is not a good idea if you don't have the water filters, because they're kind of expensive. So I definitely wouldn't get it. But if you've got the water filters, I do recommend the rinse pods. The rinse pods actually do a pretty good job. There's kind of a powder in there, and they really don't say what it is, but I'm going to show you today. I'm going to run one through a machine. They actually do a pretty good job of cleaning the area in between brews of like coffee or tea, or just even if you just brew coffee, every once in a while run a rinse pod. So having 4 of those, yeah, 3 months, that's about the right amount. That's about the time you should be descaling your Keurig. Definitely should be changing the water filter. So you got 2 of them, so every month and a half, and you know, one of these every month basically. So just real quick, I'm going to show you how to use each one of the things in this kit. But it says before installation, let this soak for 5 minutes. Now this is a carbon water filter, and if you've ever messed with like a fish tank carbon filter, you know that even like a water filter for your ice maker or something, you've got to run water through it first because there's carbon dust in there. So they say let it sit, and you can see that carbon dust coming out. You know, it's turning the water kind of a light gray. You're supposed to let it soak for 5 minutes, and then you're supposed to rinse it underwater for 60 seconds. So that's a really good idea. You definitely don't want that in your Keurig machine at all. Okay, so next, let's talk about the rinse pods. So these are really good in between flavored drinks, and definitely just want to use them once in a while. I wasn't a big fan of these at first because I thought, you could just do a rinse. So normally I'll make sure there's not a K-cup in there, and I'll close this, and then I'll just select a size, and I'll just run hot water through there. But what I have found is that works pretty good. But these rinse pods actually clean it just a little bit better, because I would do some rinses thinking, okay, everything's kind of clean. You do get some residual kind of coffee and coffee grounds kind of in this area and up here a little bit, and it cleans this area really good. So these rinse pods do have some instruction. It says brew on the 8-ounce setting, and then that's what we're going to do. Oh, and then also, so it's kind of a catch-22. So you're going to put this in, and you're going to brew it on the 8-ounce setting. You have to do a fresh water rinse after you use this. So, and again, I've opened these up. It's got like just a little bit of powder in there, not much, but it kind of foams up, and you'll see it really works. So here I have a K-Select coffee maker, and you'll see it's got kind of the standard Keurig needle in the bottom, needle in the top. Now, see how this rinse pod fits in there, just like a normal K-cup. Again, you're not going to pierce the bottom. You're going to let the machine do the work. But you can use these rinse pods in any standard Keurig machine. So here I've got my K-Cafe. See how it kind of looks like the same. So anywhere where you can put a standard K-cup, you can use these rinse pods. So again, we're just going to put that in there. We're going to close the lid. It's going to pierce the top and the bottom with the needles. And then we're just going to do the 8 ounce. So this one here's 8 ounce. So I just cleaned this machine yesterday, but don't be surprised if you see some coffee grounds floating in there. And don't be surprised if this water is kind of like a brown from the coffee staining in that. Cleanup is real simple. You're just going to take the K-cup out. These can be recycled very easily. You're just going to peel the foil off the top. There's plastic and foil you can recycle. But it does a really good job of kind of cleaning down in here. Now it says we want to do a fresh water rinse. So we're going to leave no K-cup in there. And then we're going to do another 8 ounce, just a fresh water rinse to kind of rinse out the rinse solution. Okay, so we're done with the rinse pods. We're going to go on to the descaling. Okay, so the descaling solution, the instructions on how to use it are not on the box. It says see the bottle. They're the hardest to find. But if you see this little bitty sign here, it says peel here. So guess what? When you peel the label back, it's got instructions for most of the different types of coffee makers. Now, if you want to see specific instructions, I've got specific instructions on how to descale most Keurig machines, but they do give you pretty basic instructions in here. I'm not going to read every single one, but basically, pretty much most of the machines, you're going to dump this whole bottle of Keurig solution into the water reservoir, and then you're going to fill the bottle up with water, and then you're going to dump the water in there. So they want like a 1-to-1 ratio. This is 14 fluid ounces. And this is citric acid. This is a Keurig's type of descaling. I get the question a lot, can you use vinegar? Yes, you can use vinegar. I've contacted Keurig, and I've seen on Keurig's website that they do allow vinegar. It's a little different process. Check out my videos on how to use white vinegar. It's a little cheaper. But again, this is only $6.50 at Walmart. It's $20 on Amazon, so they really charge a lot. So just some tips. I've been using this Keurig descaling solution. The more and more I use it, the more and more I like it. It's odorless. Vinegar does have quite a bit of odor to it. It just seems to take less time because with the vinegar, it seems like with the vinegar, you got to do a few more rinses. This one doesn't take quite as many rinses. You still want to rinse it out really good because this is citric acid in there. And it tells you exactly how many rinses to do and everything. So the first thing you do, you would remove the water filter from the tank. And for the entire process, you're not going to have your water filter in. You're going to take the water out. You're going to pour the entire contents of this solution in your machine. Then you're going to fill this up with water, pour it into the water tank. And then you're going to run that descaling solution through your machine with no K-cup in until your add water light comes on. Once your add water light comes on, leave it powered on. Don't touch the power button. And just let it sit for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you're going to take your water tank over to the sink, rinse it out with soap and water, fill it up with fresh water, and then run either one fresh water tank or 2 fresh water tanks through your machine, again, with no K-cup in, on just rinsing. So it's going to take you about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to do it. But it is a really good idea. These Keurig machines are expensive, and they do last a lot longer if you keep up on the descaling. If your coffee's not tasting as good as it used to be, if it's not as hot, if your Keurig machine is super loud, or if it's taking too long to brew, those could all be signs that you have to descale your Keurig. If you've got any questions on how to descale a certain Keurig machine, like I said, I've got a lot of videos on how to descale each individual Keurig machine, even down to the K Duos and the K Minis. They are a little different in how you descale them. Check out those videos. Again, I was skeptical of this kit. I was skeptical of all of this stuff at first, but I really do think it's a good idea. 3 months, you could probably go up to 4 months, and maybe even 5 months with it, but definitely I would get this kit at least every 4 or 5 months and use it on your Keurig machine. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And thanks everybody for your support. And if you could, please like and subscribe.